When I did that transition, I lost people and it did hurt. I cried because it hurt.
Okay.
And it sucked. But when I saw them out, I still gave them a big old hug and talked to them. And, it is what it is. Now, that I will say is a big part of my personal growth and why I got into energy healing and why I got into neuro coaching is so that I could work on myself as I was growing the business. Because I'm the one that's going to really make or break my business, not the clients, not the products, not the industry. It's how I perceive everything.
I'm really excited to have Jacqueline Rodriguez on my podcast. Welcome, Jacqueline.
Hello. Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
Jacqueline is all things green. And for those of you who are just listening in, even her hair, it's so darling. I love it. She's got her plant babies in the background and her beautiful forest green hair. It's just so fun to see you. We connected recently on social media with our shared passion for the industry. And as soon as I kind of checked out a little bit more about who you are and what you do, Jacqueline, I was really excited to have you join me on my podcast.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And likewise, I love everything you're doing. And we love the industry because it's an amazing industry. And there's so many amazing facets to this industry, which I think is what really just makes it special.
This is what I think that stood out to me why I was so excited to have you on. I'm sure there's probably going to be tons of discoveries in between. I love letting things take their twist and turn as I get to know more about my guests. But you've got the clean beauty biz. You're a coach and you're all about being thoughtful and mindful of our environment and the impacts that we have on it. And I think especially in our industry, which is typically very high waste. From owning a salon to pivoting to that, I want to know a little bit about what that journey looked like or how you got so invested in this.
Yes. So I've actually been in the industry for 26 years, which is really hard to believe, but 26 years. And I got into it not knowing anything about clean or sustainable beauty. It just wasn't talked about. Fast forward probably a good 10 years into my career, I was burning out. I was exhausted. I was away from my kids and I just had kind of had enough. And at home, I was really conscious because of my babies of what kind of cleaning products I was around. I started cleaning out my house of those big toxins. And it really started with just cleaning products. And then I kind of opened Pandora's box and went into everything else. And while I was living a cleaner lifestyle at home, every day I would walk into a really toxic salon. And I started to notice how I felt. Coughing, itchy throat, headaches by the end of the day where I didn't have one when I came in. And the only thing I could put two and two together was all of the toxins that I was around. And that's really how I started on the entire journey. And then we have like 17 hours of more content that I could share.
Well, the fun thing is you have your own podcast. So legitimately, I'm sure you cover a lot of different subjects and speak to a lot of different points in the industry and life when it's there. But tell us a little bit about your podcast, even just as we get started, because to that point of 17 hours of content where we could talk about the beauty and importance and empowerment of cleaning up our environment and how we can shift not only for ourselves, but others and those that we work with. Tell us where we can find that other information so that anybody who's sitting here going, yeah, that was nice, but I want to know the rest, they can listen to the other 20 hours.
Yes, I have it all over the place. So the podcast is the Impactful Salon Owners Podcast, and it's on YouTube. It is on Apple, Spotify, all the different channels. So you can definitely dive into it. And I have lots of content around that and more about my story. And, I also, I'm on Instagram and there's lots of little tidbits there. And then I have some special other things coming up that I may or may not be able to talk about.
We just ... stay tuned. And whether or not we're able to give a little teaser trailer at the end of our episode to that, or just let them know where to find you so that they can be ready for your next big news. That'll be really fun. And you also, in addition to the clean beauty biz coaching and what you do there, the impact you have with your podcast, and you're the owner of Enlightened Styles. You've owned that salon for about 10 years. Is that correct?
Oh, no, we're going on 14 years in January.
Okay,
yes.
Even longer.
Yeah.
Okay, so, and you mentioned you have children as well. So this is, you're juggling a lot. You do a couple of things. Even when you said you've been in the industry 26 years, and I was like, not only does she have beautiful green hair, but if you heard her say that while looking at her face, you'd be like, whatever beauty products, whatever clean routine she's on, sign us up, and wish we had started 15 years ago like she did. But I mean, that's so hard to believe. I'm not flattering you. I'm just telling the truth.
Well, I appreciate that. And I take that. I mean, I do really try to take care of my skin. And I think age is nothing but a number. Like I work out. I'm really focused on a clean lifestyle and embodying that into my energy and everything. So it goes much deeper than just a clean beauty product. And that's what I coach to is, yes, we need a clean product, but what's deeper than that? And when you come into my salon, that's what we address. Yes, we're going to give you beautiful hair. Yes, we're going to take care and give you a style and everything that you love and is easy for you to take care of. But what are we working with a lot deeper than on the surface? And we do a lot of energy healing or just healing modalities. We've been doing, scalp care is all the rage now.
All the rage.
We've been doing it for 14 years, or at least 10. So 10 years for sure in scalp care. And we've been looking at those deeper issues. And we talk to our clients about hormones and going to look deeper than just here's a product that's going to take care of your scalp concerns or your hair color or whatever it is. There's always so much more to it. And that's really what I've built my whole business on at the salon. And then I just decided to share that because I didn't have any guidance.
Basically, you built this idea, model, concept, what you began to integrate in your own salon, well, personal life first, then your professional life, and then bringing it to your guests and the experience. And you're like, hey, there isn't a roadmap for this yet. So you decided to be that roadmap for other people because you know what? When you're out there blazing the trail 10 years before people started talking about scalp treatments, it's kind of hard to look back and see like, how quick could that have been if someone had been leading the way for you? How much more efficient could you have been, or how much more could you have probably affected change if you had known sooner? So I think that's really cool that you're doing that for other people. And what you're talking about, a lot of us hear the word holistic. You didn't use that word, but you're talking about a holistic approach to wellness and beauty and being clean. And I think a lot of people, like when I just at a glance hear the word holistic or see it, I think some kind of health, right? I'm thinking holistic and health only, but really it is about all of it. It's all encompassing. And it sounds like when a guest comes into your space at Enlightened Styles, they're getting a holistic service. And I think that's pretty impactful. Do you want to tell us like a little bit, just kind of briefly about maybe what's different about your salon or how people are treated when they come into your space?
For sure. So with the salon, I mean, as soon as you walk in, you can feel the difference because I'm very much based in a lot of energy healing and frequencies. I'm also a neuro coach. So everything starts much deeper. When we look at how we even take care of the salon, we're cleaning the energy of the salon before you walk in. And that's not just me, but my whole team, like everybody's involved and loves this kind of energy. So everybody's involved with clearing out the energy, setting good intentions. And then when you come in, you're invited with these beautiful smells where it's not like traditional salons where you walk in and it's just toxins. Like
your nostrils are burning. It's like your eyes itch.
Yes. Like I cannot walk into a salon because I'm super sensitive. I always have been, but I just didn't put it two and two together. So there's none of that. You don't get those smells. Everything is very clean and light. And I think it just goes back to that energy. You don't know why you feel better just walking in, but you feel better no matter what happened that day. And that's the feedback we get from a lot of our clients is they just feel completely different when they walk in. And it might be their first time there, but they feel the difference. And then when you go in further, our consultations go deeper than the surface. Yes, we have to know about what you want for your hair, the best styles and everything. But we also ask about stress and we ask about, is there anything else going on? Like, have you had surgery? Have you had a lot of stress or things impacting your health that is going to show up in your hair? And we look at every client's scalp and we assess their scalp. Maybe great, no problems, or there might be things happening where they thought it was one thing, like, dry, itchy scalp, or they had dandruff, and their doctor has told them to use, what is that, Selsun Blue, or
one of the treated shampoos that are terrible.
Yes.
Like straw, but I don't know the names. Yes.
Oh, yes. One of those. I can't remember the other name, and they end up not even having dry scalp. It's oil buildup. So they're not even doing anything better. And that's from a doctor because we've gotten to such a place where everything is in a hurry. Nobody wants to spend time with you and really look at what's happening. And when somebody sits in my chair and they're asking me for a style and they're asking me for a different type of color, that's all going to be connected to something deeper of how they feel about themselves, about whether it's a positive feeling or not a positive feeling. Like all of that is tied to what we want to see on the outside. So we go deeper with that and we take our time. We're one-on-one with our clients. It's a smaller boutique style. And then we offer a lot of services that are not just based on hair.
Okay, I like that. And you've mentioned like some energy work and different things that are practiced there. Are most of your stylists and team members there certified in different modalities or in different approaches? Is everybody there multiple certified?
Yes. Yeah. And I really encourage them to, like, whatever their passion is, right? So it may be sound healing. It may not be. We have sound healing bowls there. I have one stylist who loves vibrational healing. So she does the sound healing, but she also does the Tibetan bowls that is like put on your body. And she's the only one that does that. And we, give her a service and we hype that up because everybody has something unique to give. And I feel like a salon, the way that we connect with our clients, we really should be able to have our specialties and what we love to do. So I try to encourage that.
Tell me what challenges or barriers you've faced in kind of a traditional industry, something that's, we're here to churn, make money. We use a ton of product, a lot of chemicals in our product. We want results. We want it to look good. We want it to look good yesterday. Like you said, we're in a hurry. A lot of people that want to slow down and take time. And I imagine a lot of clients might even be like, this is a little woo-woo for me. Can we just make my hair cute? What challenges did you face in making that shift? Or did you start your salon with that process or intention in mind? Either way, I'd love to know what challenges you faced in that kind of space of being the unique salon environment that you offer.
Of course. I have hit so many challenges. I mean, so many challenges that we would another 17 days here. But I think the biggest challenge is I didn't start my salon off with clean beauty. It wasn't around. I was able to get a few things here and there. Like I started off with my cleaning ingredients and the salon, like I wouldn't use bleach or Windex or things like that. But when I started the salon almost 14 years ago, there was no options for cleaner beauty. So I had to make that transition as I continued to educate myself and look very, very deep into everything that I could possibly get my hands on. I had to try it out, not only on myself, but my family members, my close clients who would let me experiment with them. I'm so appreciative to them. So I had to do all of that research and it was really hard. And then once I found a product that I could stand behind and I started implementing everything, I had to bring my clients on that same journey with me because they were used to regular stuff just like me.
Okay, that's actually really helpful. And I'm not going to lie, I kind of like it better because if you started off exactly as you are now, listening to this podcast, I can imagine people thinking, well, that's nice for you, but there is no way I'm going to get buy-in. There's no way I can incorporate something more green, but you did it. You actually started traditionally and shifted gears. How long do you think the process took overall? Like you mentioned, you started with cleaning products, but how long would you say that the shift took until you are where you are now? And I imagine as more information is available and more advances are made in the green space, you're probably adapting those as you go. But how long was that transition, more or less, from tradition space to clean?
Okay. Well, first I want to address something you said earlier about that client who was like, oh, this is too woo-woo for me, or this is not really like, I need to be in and out, just do my hair. When I did that transition, I lost people.
Okay.
It was not easy. I did lose some people, and those people, we still had a great relationship. They still understood like this. I just no longer was available for that type of energy and to just like turn them out. And I made so much space for the clients who were looking for exactly what I was offering. So it was hard, and it was, in hindsight, the best thing that could have happened to me because it made that space where I didn't have it before. So anyone listening, like, yes, there is a lot of transitions. You can and will lose some clients, but traditionally, or like at the base of that, right, we're looking at losing clients that doesn't really fit in anyway. And there is somebody out there that is absolutely perfect for them, and you will find perfect clients for you in this transition. And when I start, from start to finish where I am today, I say it took me about 14 years because I am still continuing to change. I didn't have it all. I still don't have everything figured out because there's new stuff coming out, because it's an ever evolving type of industry. So even for a salon who's in traditional space, can you really say that you've got it all figured out? Or the next trend's coming out and you're adapting and you're bringing that on. Right.
And so that's a great point too. Whatever's coming in the industry or in the market, always being open to what's next and what's new. And there's no real difference between doing that in a traditional way or a green way, essentially. Correct. Keeping your mind open. Sounds like really keeping a trajectory or choosing to continue with a growth mindset, which I think is what really benefits everybody the most. If we can, we can be honest, that's going to help all of us. With your clients that you lost, I know how close we get to our guests, how meaningful the relationships are, and it can be really personal when someone chooses to not follow you on the journey you're on. And you mentioned, which I think is so important, it was scary. You lost a lot of people.
Yes.
And it made room for people who are looking for exactly what you offer. How long was that gap? Because I think that I can kind of think of it as like you let go of something, your hands are empty for a while, and then what belongs to you is going to come to you and going to flow your way. How long was that sort of like in between phase? Because that can be very scary and for some financially devastating.
Well, I always throughout the whole thing, even as I was trying to figure out my messaging and how do I actually attract those clients who want what I want, I still was evolving and learning who I wanted to take as clients and who I didn't. So some of my current clients, as I was switching and transitioning over, they left, and it did hurt. And like I said, I cried because it hurt.
Okay.
And it sucked. But when I saw them out, I still gave them a big old hug and talked to them. And, it is what it is. Now, that I will say is a big part of my personal growth and why I got into energy healing and why I got into neuro coaching is so that I could work on myself as I was growing the business. Because I'm the one that's going to really make or break my business. not the clients, not the products, not the industry. It's how I perceive everything.
Okay. That is a perfect segue into a question that I had growing in my mind. And it was, how does your work your work involved in energy healing and neuro coaching and like mindset, how does that really play into what you've been able to achieve? And how do you translate that to people that you coach? Because of course it's all part of your mindset, but what does that even mean? And how do you effectively bring that into what you practice?
I mean, honestly, mindset, it's one of those big words that everybody uses. And it's not just affirmations and me, talking to myself in the mirror. That's a part of it, but that's not it. The energy healing allowed me to shift my energy without having to break back all of these crazy layers of trauma and this and that. It allowed me just to shift my energy without going so deep.
Okay.
And that was a beautiful thing because it allowed me to get out of my own way just a little bit more each and every time so that I could actually start to see what was connected and why I was making decisions that maybe weren't bringing me the results that I wanted. And after a few years of doing just energy healing, working on meditation and, that kind of thing, that's when I really learned about neuro coaching. And it was the missing piece for me. I had my energy really dialed in. I was meditating. I knew what I wanted, who I was, but I kept getting into these cycles. And I'm like, what the heck? Why am I doing this? I know what I'm supposed to be doing, but why do I keep going back to these other cycles? And that was the neuro coaching. That was your subconscious is so deeply ingrained in who you are and who you show up to be that when we don't start to actually rewire our subconscious minds, we will continuously loop right back to that same exact thing. And when you learn how to do this, you don't just apply it to business. It's applicable to everything in your life. So any pattern that's coming up that's tied to your subconscious, I have an easy method because I studied with Dr. Shannon Irvine. I became a master neuro coach with her. And when I started to put those two pieces together, the frequency, the energy, my personal energy, and now getting my subconscious on the same playing level as where my dreams were.
You go to the party, you're like, hey, you're cordially invited, actually.
Yes, you are invited and you are the star of the show. Let's do this. Because I didn't want to keep putting, my dreams on the back burner for subconscious patterns that just kept showing up. And luckily, when I found Dr. Shannon Irvine, she taught me a method, and now I'm able to share that method in the academy with all of the clean and sustainable stuff. So I bring conscious leadership into that conversation because that's the key to making it super successful.
Hey, business owners. Yes, you. I know you're juggling it all. Marketing, admin tasks, websites, podcasts, social media. The list never ends. That's where Spark comes in. We're a virtual assistant company built just for small business owners because once you're able to delegate, we know you'll be able to dominate. Our clients are seeing up to 30% increase in social media engagement and sales, all by letting us handle the behind the scenes work. Not to mention an incredible boost in flexibility, profit, and time. So scan the QR code right now to schedule a free chat with my team. Let's make you efficient AF and help you focus on what you do best, growing and leading your business.
Okay. Not just changing, because yes, cleaning up the outside, even just like you mentioned, the toxins, it's going to change how you feel when you show up into space. Changing your methodology around the products you use and how you consult somebody, going to change how they feel. But when you start to go even deeper to your energetic levels or what you're bringing to the table emotionally, wow, now you're really getting somewhere. But you're telling me there's another layer and there's something even deeper. I want to hear a little bit more, if you don't mind sharing, about the Holistic Salon Academy, what that's like, how you help guide people through, or what the process looks like. Because this all sounds really nice, but it's like, how does that work? You know, what do you mean and how do I learn, right?
I give it to you through osmosis and you just learn everything. No.
I'm going to take a nap or listen to this podcast and I'm going to wake up a dewy, fresh, aligned creature, attracting only the best things possible.
Man, I would be a cajillionaire if I could make that happen. No, but the Academy is, we are now, the next iteration, which is going to be launching soon, is actually going to be broken up into 2 parts. So there's going to be more of a DIY, like pace yourself, where you're just going to learn all of what is clean, green, sustainable, holistic beauty. Like, what are they? What do I do about them? How do I choose a product? How do I look for greenwashing? How do I start my sustainable journey? Like, I have a whole spreadsheet that has different sustainable actions that you can take that will tell you, like, if it's really expensive or if it's on the lower end side, and how impactful it is into like the earth and to your business. And you can start to like put a plan together. And then we really break down each and every part of like certifications, what you're looking for, looking beyond the label. That is my more pace yourself, learn all the different facets, because there's a lot and you don't have to jump into all of them at once. Okay. I started with just my cleaning products, and then I grew and evolved and I started to bring more and more. And that's how I attack it now, is like, there's lots that I want to do. I put a plan into place and say, okay, in 6 months, I will implement these, or in a year, or in 5 years. My 2-year goal is to have solar panels on my salon. I would love to do that all right now. Not going to work right now. So we put it into a plan. And that's what I help you do with the DIY one.
That's awesome. I also think if I'm listening to this, which I'm listening to you and I love what you're saying, and I think it is important and valuable. And I think some people might see where you're at, like you said, after 14 years in this process. And, you know, one listening to this might be like, that sounds really overwhelming. That's a massive shift. And I don't want to go that far down that road. I think it's really important for us to realize, hey, how about if you want to do a little bit or make a little difference, you can take that DIY roadmap and do just a little bit. There's no need to go all the way to the end of the road, or to even say that you're full blown committed to this concept. If that feels or sounds overwhelming to someone, it's okay. And I'm going to say it, even if, you know, I think as a listener, I'd want to know every little baby step that you do, every little tiny thing you do to improve something in your process, something in your consciousness, or something about how you're approaching anything to improvement and better yourself or the environment around you. Take one step and just do that much if that's all you do. Don't let the big picture maybe stop you from taking a single step, is what I would encourage people listening. And what would you say to somebody who's feeling maybe overwhelmed at the concept of like, I'm not going to be a fully carbon neutral, 100% chemical free space. That's impossible for who I am and what I want. What would you say to that person?
Great. Take one step. Just really think about this. How many salons do we have here in the US?
Oh my gosh.
Tons. I don't have the number.
Many. So many.
Yes. So we have so many. If every salon owner, every single one of them, just decided to take one concept and start to change it, do you know the dramatic number of our impact, how that would change? And just one. Yeah. Not to mention, most of them, just like me, when I started, I didn't go out and be like, oh, I'm going to be this carbon neutral queen of, no, I wanted no toxins for my cleaning because I was tired of breathing it in. And that was where I started. Now I am on that journey of carbon neutral, and, you know, I'm doing all of the things, but that's because I bought in and I just started to allow it to unfold. And once you start to try to change things here and there, you start to see some of the other things just kind of come along with it and make it easy. And you don't have to go for the full impact at the beginning. Just start somewhere, take one piece. And then when you have those pieces and you're ready to start to implement it, because that's the other part of my course, is we have the conscious leader part, where that's more group coaching. That's where the strategy that you want to go in, whether you want to bring in more sustainability or clean products or whatever that case is for you. Then we start to go into the conscious leadership, where I do teach you more of the neuro coaching and to build a plan out, and how do you actually bring your team on board, right? Because it's not just your clients you got to convince. You got to convince your team to get behind this crazy, wacky dream now that you have, right? So you got to get them on board. And that's what I teach in the Conscious Leader, is how to get your team on board, how to get your clients on board, how to start really getting those clients that are absolutely dying to come work with you. How do you get them into your chair and keep them coming, and then rinse and repeat?
And what you're talking about, that conscious leadership, is applicable no matter what you're trying to onboard someone with or enlist someone's allegiance, right? So yes. This sounds like a skill set that is wonderful in bringing forth a clean beauty space, but also in leadership in general, that's really important and viable to learn as a leader. So that's cool. Yeah. Thank you. How long is that process typically, or how long do you work in that group in coaching?
Right now I do a 12-month. And when I open it next time, I think I'm going to open it with another 12 months. I want you to have time to go through things. Again, I didn't change all of who I'm being and showing up to be in a year. I didn't change it in 2 years. It takes time. And it's something that you don't just hear once and everything's changed. You actually go through it over and over again. So we do a year program, and then we have like live coaching, and then all the modules and everything.
Yeah, that's cool. And I know that I learn best from others as well. So one-on-one is actually cool, and a lot of people prefer it, but I love learning in a group, because there's invariably something that another person might ask, or a challenge someone else might be facing in their space, and I don't think of it, but when I hear it, I'm like, that too. So that sounds really, that sounds like a really high value that people can learn in a group, a lot of these skills, and probably share with one another what's happening and their takeaways as it goes in real time. Like you said, this kind of thing, no matter what change we are talking about, but especially in the area of sustainability, to play on words, for sustained change, especially in sustainability, it's going to require thoughtfulness and, looking at it, learning it, implementing it, coming back and evaluating, and working with each other to support each other on it in that journey.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the beauty of the community, is when you're in that type of energy, it's infectious, and you start to just want to be that type of leader. And I truly believe that we deserve change in this industry.
Yeah.
We deserve to be happier. We deserve to be paid well. But more importantly, we deserve to be healthy and know that we can continue to do what we love in this industry. And the more salon owners start to really lead that type of change, the more hairstylists are going to see that, and they're going to go through that type of change. And then more clients are going to have that same type of change. And then we're going to start creating that demand where brands and companies no longer can just say, hey, yeah, this is eco-friendly and it's got a green bottle, but it's also got tons of toxins. And we have to start demanding that type of change. And that's where we're going to get to where the entire industry is cleaner, healthier, and more sustainable, and so much less waste than what we do now.
Yeah. And from an economical standpoint, as a business owner, less waste, really great to know that it helps the environment. But for someone who's like, I'm really numbers based, like that's a luxury to worry about the environment. I don't think that myself, but if someone's thinking that, it's nice to realize that when you decrease waste, you're also decreasing waste in spending. And so essentially, if it benefits one area, it benefits all areas. And it's going to continue to have that a positive upward spiral, right?
Of course.
A projection that's going to help you get higher and higher and more elevated in what you're doing.
And the facts are, we are in business to make money. I'm not a charity case. I'm not trying to, yes, I believe in impact. I mean, my mission is very clear. But if I don't have money in my business, I can't make that impact. So yes, I have to have a profit. I have to make sure that it is not just wildly expensive and then I can't really create any change. And that's a misconception I see a lot in the industry, is they think that it's just automatically going to be more expensive and you're not going to have a profit. That is not the case, or else I wouldn't be alive, having a thriving business of 14 years, because I would have not been able to continue to sustain. So you can have profits and you can have impact and lead that change.
I think it's so lovely to hear somebody with a successful business share that, because it can seem like a mutually exclusive proposition to be successful or to be ethical or to be green. And it's really nice to see it happening in real time with someone who has what you have going for you. So thank you. I don't think any type of success is worth sacrificing what's best for others, for ourselves, or for the environment. So I really do appreciate that you spotlight that. You did say you're not a charity organization. However, you do work with a nonprofit. You have involvement and you've co-founded a nonprofit. So clearly you can't do that if you don't have the flexibility and some success financially within your other business. Tell me a little bit about that nonprofit that you co-founded and what kind of impact you're having and seeing.
Yes. So that was the Green Beauty Community. The founder is Daniel, and 2.5 years ago, I guess, he found me on social with my message and everything, and he reached out to me. The other two co-founders are Hannah and Maisie, and we started down this journey of just being the voice for clean and sustainable beauty in the industry. And fast forward, enough people actually cared about the mission, and we were able to get it as a nonprofit last year. So it's been a nonprofit for a year, and we really just raise that awareness. We want to show that it is sustainable, and this is the future of beauty. And we really need to start looking at just those tiny 1% better change. And that's what we stand for. So it's been an amazing journey, because I got to be alongside other stylists and people in the industry who actually thought like me. Before that, it was an extremely lonely ride.
Yeah. I think that's beautiful, building community and offering support. So not only through what you're doing with your academy, but also in the nonprofit. So folks who want to reach out to that, it will be linked in the show notes, who want to be a part, not only of the Clean Beauty Biz, the academy that you have. Tell me what the name of the academy is, the official name again.
It is the Holistic Salon Academy.
The Holistic Salon Academy. So people who want to reach out to that, or who want to learn more about the nonprofit, what is the name of that?
Green Beauty Community.
Green Beauty Community. Okay. And both those will be linked so people can know where to find you on that. I really want to know, what advice do you have for people who want to make the shift to be more sustainable? That 1%, that one little thing. Tell me the easiest way someone can start, and a way that they can start today that won't cost them a lot of extra money. Let's give just like a little first, like step one on your spreadsheet that you could give us to make an impact.
I think step one is go listen to the Impactful Salon podcast, because that's where you got to learn, like, what is it all? Because it is and can be so overwhelming, all the different little things, right? It's not just a product swap, or just recycling. There's a lot of things in it, and you got to find what is most drawn to who you are as a person. Okay. So once you find that, then you can start to go deeper and find that community. I mean, go to the podcast, binge everything that you hear there, see what resonates with you the most, and then come join the Green Beauty Community. It's right now, I'm pretty sure it's still free to be a member and get around that community. Message me on Instagram. Like, I love having these conversations. I will DM you all day.
That's how I met you. She slid into my DMs. Don't be jealous. That's actually really, really helpful. Let's find what actually resonates with us, not something on a checklist. You've got a checklist and a path, but finding what really makes sense for us and speaks to us. And that actually is probably a way to make it more long lasting as well, something that resonates with us or that we feel passionate about. So I appreciate that invitation. I am interested in knowing, on the subject of clean beauty, what is your favorite clean beauty product that you can't live without?
Oh, that's always the hardest one, but...
Can you give me 3? Like, pretend you were going to be paid for every bottle or container of these things that got sold because you love them so much. What are the 3 that you want us all to know about?
Well, my first, I would say Oway. Oway has a new product line where we are so excited. For the salon, we actually got handpicked with Oway to be the place salon, and we get a very exclusive line of products. And it's my favorite one, the pH equalizer. It's a new spray to help balance your pH levels, and it has helped so much with just my frizz and how my hair's just dry. I take really good care of it. I don't overprocess it, but that has made a huge difference. And let's see, I think I have to bring back to skin. They're the Oway, and I don't remember the name of it, but it's their cream cleanser. Love. Use it all the time. My husband even uses it. Okay. It's fantastic.
Okay.
And then third product, I gotta go Innersense. Their scalp, I'm so bad with the names. Like, I can see them.
It does. It's fine. And we'll link it all.
Yeah. It is their scalp scrub that is fabulous. So it helps scrub and exfoliate your scalp, but the smell is so lovely. It feels really good on your scalp, and it is one of my favorites.
Okay. I like it. And are all these products offered at your salon?
Yes.
Okay. I didn't know. Do you do skincare at your salon?
We do. We actually just brought an esthetician this year. So she is a holistic esthetician, and we have a whole Oway spa upstairs.
Awesome. I mean, you really make me wish I lived closer so I could have an indulgent, not only consultation, but I mean, you're talking about the different modalities that people practice in your space. And I love a good sound bath. I like all the woo-woo hippie weirdo stuff. I really do. I think it's so lovely. I've been a practitioner of meditation for quite some time now, close to 15 years. And you wouldn't know it. Can you imagine the disastrous wreck I would be if I didn't?
Gosh. Same.
I'm like, hold on just a second. I'm gonna eat this and I'll be fine. Just poke my eyes out with the crystal. I'm gonna snort this. I'll be fine. It'll be fine. Just a minute. Anyway,
but huge sage.
Yeah. Can you imagine if I didn't take a shower in sage every morning, what this would be like? But anyway, it sounds like such a beautiful space, and I've just really loved learning a little bit more about you and hearing about you. And thank you for sharing the different ways that we can continue to learn more about your work and also the nonprofit that you're involved with, so that people who want to be part of this community to take steps toward a more clean environment and a more holistic space can do it. But it sounds like there's a lot more that can also be learned from you as well on your podcast. So thank you for being on the show, for sharing your beauty and your passion for making this world a little cleaner, a little less toxic, and a little safer. It's been a delight to have you.
Thank you for having me on this show.